I agree. We're rolling now. No, I absolutely agree. This is our third time going today, and just figuring out OBS, so there's going to be some learning to this new ship that we're trying to run. If you're not new with us, we are Roomies and Movies. We do this weekly podcast. We watch movies, shows of the regular. This week for 7/31 of 18, we watched the first two episodes of Twin Peaks: The Return that came out last year. The first three episodes of Castle Rock that was on Hulu. Went back a little bit in time to see The Raid Redemption, which is one of Luke's favorite movies. The new movie Extinction with Michael Pena on Netflix. And then theatrically, we caught Teen Titans Go to the Movies and Mission Impossible Fallout, which is the sixth in the series. And I suppose let's get into it and let's see where we fall on them. You want to start with Twin Peaks?
Are you sure? I kind of want to just like chill for a minute to see if you have to do that intro another time. I mean, that'd be pretty fun.
I mean, we can mess around. It doesn't matter to me.
Let's start.
We're trying out something new. We're just going video-less. See if my internet can withstand that kind of bandwidth. It seems to be working all right for the call. We're not going to be live streaming. We haven't had too many people come in and talk while we're doing it, so we're just going to be putting these up later. But you'll get the full video, and you can listen to them while you work or jump to wherever you want to avoid spoilers and whatnot. So, ready to get into it?
Sure. What are we doing? What do we got going on?
Let's start with Twin Peaks, or do you want to start somewhere else?
We can start with Twin Peaks and how you're such an asshole for making me wait this long to watch it.
First of all, I find that it's your fault that we waited this long to go into Twin Peaks. I told you when we started Westworld Season 2, I was like, I'm so excited to get into Twin Peaks. You let me know when we're going, and we're going. And you're just like, drag it to your feet.
I was the one who wanted to watch it right after we finished Season 2, and you were like, no, let's wait till like December, and then you kept pushing it off and fucking making me angry.
No way, man. I was totally ready for all of it. I was like,
no, you're like, I need a break.
It's 100%. Totally
like,
I will take that blame. I'm sorry for waiting this long. You sent me a message after watching 2 episodes and was like, can we just keep going? And I was like, let's do 5 episode chunks. But I was like, I'm glad we restrained ourselves because I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff to talk about. So, getting back into it, absolute fucking bonkers. Just batshit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just it picks up 25 years later, but also right where the last season ended with, Cooper being trapped in the Black Lodge and his doppelganger out running around. So good.
When the intro started, I was like, this feels just like we left off. And it was great hearing the tune again. And then we're greeted by some guy watching a blank box in a room with cameras in it. And then the girl from Californication who likes to punch people when she's fucking them shows up. And that's all I kept saying. I was like, she's going to punch you, dude. If you get into this, she's going to punch you she's going to sock you right in the eye. Watch yourself.
Watch it. But they needed to be watching the box instead where demon thing came out. I don't know.
I have no idea what the fuck that was, but I know I didn't sleep that night. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. It sets it up perfectly. It's like, it's very ominous in tone, and it's like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, that's right. Fucking no one knows, and we're just scared shitless. And they're in New York, mind you. They're in New York. They're clear the fuck away from Twin Peaks, and I can't wait to see where that goes. Considering we saw it again in the second episode and Coop flying around.
Yeah, I think there's a way to read it as it's meta commentary on the state of television in the 25 years that Twin Peaks has been off the air. You know, you're sitting there watching this empty box of nothing, waiting to find something, and that something is Agent Cooper coming back. You know, maybe kind of.
I can see that. I could also see it just being like we left off with like Fire Returned to Me, and like the town was kind of coming into like their like cult rituals we're learning about, and then there's fucking aliens, and like now it's fucking just batshit insanity in the last 25 years.
Yes, and I'm so scared and excited at the same time to think of like there's 18 episodes of this, all directed by David Lynch with no fucking filter. You know, Showtime let him do whatever he wanted to, and
oh yeah.
I mean, like we can talk about. I think it's pretty sure it's the second episode when the dwarf from the original series, the arm, has now transformed into a tree with a mushmelon head thing on it and electricity or something. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I don't know.
You're saying the dwarf. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, it was just his arm. I didn't realize the dwarf was his arm that like got lopped off.
Yeah, it's the arm that Mike cut off became the dwarf. Because I think it's in Fire Walk with Me when I believe it's Fire Walk with Me when Coop's talking to him in the Black Lodge and he's like, I am the arm and I talk like this, and the tree did the exact same thing.
Huh.
And Mike even told him, he's like, this is the evolution of the arm when he presented Cooper to the tree.
That's crazy. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
What's that mean?
Isn't the dwarf around though? Hold on. It makes perfect sense for Twin Peaks where it is. It makes absolutely no sense to a common man.
And then you get the bad doppelganger Coop, who's just like a straight pimp. You know, he's just like walking around.
Log lady called.
He's just like straight like hitting people with their own shot.
The log lady called in that message,
which is sad. Yeah.
Oh, she passed.
You get these little hints that. Yeah, she passed. She only filmed a couple scenes for this. But it's interesting. They're slowly kind of parsing out the original characters. You know, you see Lucy and Andy and Hawk and oh god, what the doctor's name? I can't even remember. Who's just getting truckloads of shovels for no reason out in the woods.
It's just insane.
Oh god, and Ben and Jerry.
Yep.
Oh, Ben and Jerry are so old.
Everyone is so old, and it feels so right. Like, it feels like this was his intention when he started out. He's like, I'm going to go back, learn everything I can, and then come back and make this the end of this batshit series that I started. Which I applaud him for.
So we'll see. And then I think it was the end of the second episode. We go back to the Bang Bang bar, and they're playing the music, and you see kind of the rest of the original cast. And it's just kind of like, I'm in. I'm back in, and I want it all now.
You get the new murder at the end of the first episode. The old lady.
Oh, yeah. Because I forgot.
Not the old lady, but...
I forgot Matthew.
Yeah, the guy from
Did you forget Matthew?
I knew you knew his name, so I just knew I had to bring Scream to the table.
I'm glad you went with Scream and not Shaggy from Scooby-Doo movies.
Come
on. You know him from his good stuff. But yeah, like the new murder, and you get like that total David Lynch thing when the cops are trying to get into the apartment. The lady's just like, you need to talk to this guy, and it's this huge rambling roundabout for no reason.
Oh yeah, the getting the key. The guy in the cell, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
The alien from the first episode, and then the guy from the cell. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle more than one episode a week. If it's throwing shit like this around.
It's okay. We'll get there. It's just, I don't know. I don't know yet. It looks like a real scary pitch. It looks like a homeless man drenched in black paint. It's terrifying.
And then let's see. We go back to the Black Lodge, and Coop has his talks with a few different people. Every time I see Laura, I'm like, I'm just waiting for that bitch to scream. I was like, I don't scream. And then she does, and I'm like, stop. I hate your scream. It terrifies my soul.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that really weird part where she's screaming and her face is like fluttering on the curtains of the Black Lodge, and I don't really know what's going on.
Or she takes her face off.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
No idea. Not one single problem. And then we got doppelganger problems.
My favorite part though is like when the Giant's talking to Cooper, and he's just like, the two birds, 273, and Cooper's just like, I understand. I was like, what? What do you understand?
He understands just as much as I do. And the doppelganger from the dwarf arm, I can't think of, is it the right arm? Left arm?
I don't know.
Whatever,
yeah,
that statue turned
arm.
into the doppelganger of the tree, and I was like, I don't understand where we're going, but I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now.
I am so excited to be back into Twin Peaks. Like, it just feels right. Right now is the right time for all of this.
Agree. I'm so excited.
So we're just watching the third episode then for next time?
Let's do 3 and 4 just to see if we can handle 2 episodes a week.
Okay.
Just to kind of give us a gauge on what they're doing storytelling wise.
Sound good?
I think that worked. Because we did the original series, we were doing 4 episodes a week, so.
Yeah. And I think we're good. You better start taking notes. I'm serious. Because you bring up a lot of great points. So yeah, that's Twin Peaks for you. Now to Castle Rock. Another thing I needed a break from last year was fucking Stephen King. We just had a bombardment of Stephen King like near the end of last year, and I was like, I can't handle anymore right now. And I feel like this came back right at the same time. Like we just
it's just like now there's more Stephen King. Just more Stephen King for you. All the Stephen Kings.
And I'll be goddamn if this isn't exactly what I wanted.
It's got you hooked, doesn't it? It's got the mystery element enough to keep you dragging along.
It's so good. It's what we're describing with Twin Peaks and not knowing where it's going. It feels like it's giving us the keys to let us know where we're going, and I just don't want to figure it out. I'm just so intrigued by everything going on, and I hope to God. I completely forgot how fucking tall Skarsgård was. He's just dwarfing up.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
But I remember last week when I texted you and I was like, get a free trial of Hulu or what do you have to do so we can watch these 3 episodes? And you were kind of hemming and hawing. I was like, well, Terry O'Quinn, Locke is in it. You got to watch it. You're like, oh, shit, I'm in. And then he kills himself in the very first scene.
I was absolutely going to bring that up. I was like, I can't wait to see Locke. Oh, wait. What? What to do with that? No, don't kill yourself. Don't do it. Nope, he killed himself. Son of a bitch. The main draw
he does
for the
it in
show.
like the most.
Oh yeah.
That's like the most metal suicide I've ever seen too. Like I've been like, either one of those 2 options would have worked. You either could have driven your car into the quarry or hung yourself. You didn't need to do both.
Yeah, and it makes it so much more ridiculous is because, like, just think of the elements we've seen from this year already. Like the Hereditary, the fucking decapitation in the car. It's like all these things were put into place to get us ready for this show, and it's like fucking A.
I enjoy it. I don't think I'm as over the moon with it as you are, though. I think sometimes the references to King's works, and I think other times it's really kitschy and makes my eyes roll out of my fucking head. Like,
name 2 times
when
that it makes you eye roll.
One, when he goes to the church and the pastor's like, who wants to volunteer? And he's like, how about you, Jackie Torrance? And I'm like, fuck off. Jesus Christ.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's heavily referencing. It feels like this is the Stephen King universe, and it almost makes me feel like this is the show that they said they were going to set in place after Dark Tower came out last year. Like, something to set up his universe, and then all this shit, like, collides with it. Which I'm all about.
We'll see. But there's stuff I like in it. I think everyone's fairly strong acting-wise. I think there's a solid enough mystery, but I think they're leaning too hard into, like, the mystery angle of it all, as opposed to what always makes Stephen King stuff good, which is the characters and, like, how fully realized the characters can be. I think it's more interesting of an idea that Terry O'Quinn's character locked this small child away for years because he thought God told him to. With no, either he heard a voice in his head and did this and just believes it's God, and the morality and that is at play there is a lot more interesting than who this person really is that he locked up, I think.
I think knowing enough Stephen King, it feels like he is the devil incarnate, and it's like I'm waiting for that to shoot a drop, and it's like everything that has been shown with Skarsgård is like, yeah, that guy's fucking pure evil. Like, I'm waiting for him to put goddamn clown makeup on, though.
No, he's just giving white supremacist cancer is all.
Like, if he gets freed, and he's like, I'm gonna go to wherever town for the next 27 years and just hang out, kill kids, whatever.
Whatever. They're just kids.
But yeah, I think these first 3 episodes are super strong. Like, I'm so in on the mystery of everything, like what's going on. Deaver coming back from Texas, and they're situated in Maine, and like his neighbor that can sense people and senses him like the most, and it's like there's just so many weird shit going on that it's like, yeah, if I'm here for everything, I'm here for it all. So
it's fair.
So yeah, check out Castle Rock.
Yeah, they dropped the first 3 episodes, and now it's going to be weekly, just like most Hulu things are. So we'll see.
Do you want to watch it weekly, or you just want to catch up on the end of it?
I don't know. I got to figure out what day it's on, I guess, so that I remember to watch it. I don't use Hulu as much as I do Prime or Netflix, so I got to remember to get on there. But plus, it's weird. I watched Castle Rock on Hulu. I was on there, saw The Ladies That Are the Worst came up, so I watched that as well. And the Hulu original shows have like stuttering issues, and it's kind of like detrimental to the watching. Like once every couple minutes, it'll like stutter and jump ahead 2 seconds, so you miss little pieces of dialogue and stuff. It's really weird.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I necessarily saw any of that. Like, I keep it on my tablet, which is ridiculous to me. So it was either my broken phone or my smaller phone, and I went with my smaller phone and it just worked fine. So, yeah, I'm all in.
Nice. Cool.
Oh yeah. So let's get to the raid, because I know you're interested in this discussion. I didn't realize who you met, who was in Mile 22 until after watching this. I was like, oh, that's why you're definitely all in for Mile 22.
Oh, 100%. This came about, I don't know, it was one of our discussions last year through text, and I was like, what's the best action movie of the past 10 years? And you said, like, Transformers or some dumb shit like you would say.
I said fucking Fury Road. Just reel it in.
And I said The Raid, and you were like, I've never seen it, and that's why I got to stick up my ass to make you watch The Raid, because this movie is goddamn amazing.
This movie is good. I'll give it a good.
I mean, it's good. Are you? Oh my god. I don't want to have this discussion.
I'm just kidding. It was fucking great. It feels like Dread, but with like parkour and like Ong-Bak like style action. This choreographed martial arts stuff, and it was pretty dope, for sure.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because this came out the same year that Dread did, and it came out like 6 months before Dread.
Okay.
So it's just one of those parallel, like, it's what, you know, like, I saw this, and then when I saw Dread, I was like, oh, it's kind of like The Raid, whereas you're separate because you saw Dread first.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad, you know, movies have the same kind of premises all the time, but...
Did this have a good showing in theaters?
I don't remember. I know it came here.
I remember Dread didn't have that good of showing, and that's why I was like kind of interested in that.
Well, this got a sequel and Dread didn't, so there's that.
Yeah.
No, but it's just, it takes like 4 minutes, and it sets up a premise, and then it's just 90 minutes of fucking action. It's, excuse me, it's one of the tightest movies there is, like, and that's what it needs. It's propulsive. It never feels down because it's always moving, and things change and upgrade and go as it goes along. Kind of like the problem I had from the first John Wick to the second was, like, that first one was tight and the second wasn't. There's this idea that, like, action films, you can't have that downtime that you do in a lot of other movies. Yeah. I think this balances everything really well.
And I think when it started, like, when it got immediately into the action, I was expecting, like, 20 half-hour minute breaks where, like, they would just lose all the action momentum, and, like, this movie doesn't let up at all for an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, it's right around, like, 90. It's, you know, but it does not let up. And like I said, everything just changes, you know. It starts with, like, when shit really hits the fan, you know, it's like this gun battle and stuff, and then it moves to fucking, like, knives and machetes, and then just straight martial arts. Like, it just keeps moving and changing with the way the movie goes. And it's just really fucking dope. It's just so well choreographed. Like, there's times, like, when I was watching it again for this, I was just like, oh, they really are just kicking each other in the face. They're so close, and it's going so fast. There's no way they're not.
Yeah, this movie gets nuts,
but
real fast. Yeah, highly recommended. It was a great movie.
Come on, dude. Just, like, when you get to the end, and it's fucking Rama and Andy versus Mad Dog, come on, that's just amazing.
Dude, yes. Oh my god, there's some fucking Double Dragon shit. Like, and they just couldn't hold their own against him. Like, he was just madman. So good.
Like, he got stabbed in the neck with a fucking fluorescent light bulb, and was still like, fuck you, what are you doing? I'm still gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
So good.
Insanity. You're insanity. And there's like some mysterious elements. The storytelling's so good that you kind of figure it out during it, but, like, the payoff is when they do the reveals and, like, how everything resolves itself. That, like,
yeah, it's just so good.
When
I'm a big fan.
So when the brothers meet up, and then he returns to his boss, and like he's like, I already know everything you did, so I know you're lying to me and that shit. Like, reminded me of the line from Hotel Artemis, where it's like, they already paid for your death, don't give him the integrity as well. And it's like the guy knew he was fucked, so he's just like, well, fuck, and just took whatever he had. So yeah, shit
Yeah.
got crazy real fast.
So it did. Plus, you see, like, it does that thing that most action movies don't, where you see, like, the toll of the entire movie weigh on them. You know, like, look at, like, Skyscraper. All that shit The Rock did, he's still, like, completely 100% fine at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But by this, these guys look like they've been through a war, right?
Yeah, for sure. Man, like falling down floors, like going through the floors, like all the stuff that they went through, and like the battles in the hallways and corridors were insane. Like, reminded me of the good fights from Daredevil. It's like all that shit's nuts.
But so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, and it hits this point where, like, these people, like, they're trying so hard to survive that, like, things become so brutal. Like, there's the part that no one's ever ready for in that movie, and it's when he grabs that guy's head, jumps backwards through the door, and just stabs him on the wood grain below.
Yeah.
Well, see, even now you're like, ugh.
Yeah, accurate depiction. So yeah, definitely if you've never checked that out, give it a watch because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but this was, excuse me, Gareth Evans directed it, and he was like someone they were pushing real hard to try and do like the Iron Fist show when it was first getting going. So you can only imagine what that would have been like.
Yeah.
And he's rumored to be directing the Deathstroke movie for DC if they ever get off their asses and make it.
I mean, at this point, the DC is so scatterbrained that it's like, I mean, it'd be a good movie, continuity-wise, it'd probably be just a fucking train wreck. But, I mean, I'd